Hi, I'm Mr. Messner. This is U.S. history for 11th graders. I hope you're having a good day, good night. Thanks for watching. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I'm going to withhold more info about myself until afterwards I've created a video to share with you about myself. But I want to get through really quick kind of what U.S. history is. And you saw already my contact info at the beginning of our video. So you can refer back to that if you need to get in touch with which I welcome and look forward to if you ever need to. What we're going to cover this year in this class is we've started and we're still in the Constitution, Bill of Rights, the government sort of civics section that we're required by Washington State to teach. And then very shortly, we're going to get into the industrialization, also called the Gilded Age, or the progressive era in American history. We continue where your son or daughter left off in the 8th grade. That's kind of how this district has broken it up. So the 8th grade was basically the prehistory all the way up to Civil War Reconstruction. And we just continue from that class now 3 years later in the 11th grade. So we go from the Gilded Age all the way up to present day is where I try to take this class all the way up to the present day. So you see all the different units. These are the major units, 10 units throughout this year. Our next will be imperialism, World War I, 1920s, Great Depression, New Deal. World War II will be around our semester break time, even virtually. So we'll see how far we get, but that's my hope. And then Cold War, Civil Rights Movement, Vietnam, and roots of modern global conflict after the Vietnam conflict to present day will be our last unit, and that'll be in second semester. Okay, so here's some encouragements that would help me and would help encourage your student as well. So encourage your child to come to school and be on time. We do Zoom sessions every time we have class, right at the start of class, at least for a half hour. I try to keep it at that time so they have some asynchronous time to be working and watching lectures and doing assignments. I try to start right on time so students always have that level of consistency. And then anything, if your son or daughter happens to miss, I'll post previous Zoom sessions on Schoology, and I have a folder to do that where you can go access, or your son and daughter can go access old lectures. Encourage your son or daughter to stay organized. I do calendars for each unit so students and yourselves can see what we're doing for each day, what's going to be due which day, when we're going to test and have assessments online and other assignments as well. I don't do packets just because we're online. I will when we're back in class. Hopefully that happens this year and happens soon. But I do have your students take notes, and every time we meet, I release them early, so hopefully they're watching online lecture, which I send out via Schoology that's on YouTube. And again, those are like 20 to 30, 35-minute lectures sometimes that I post the content that I don't want to give when we're on Zoom. I just want to give it to your son or daughter to be able to watch asynchronously and then take notes. So they should be taking notes and should have something to show you from our class time and from the lectures that I'm giving. And then online grades are updated via Schoology, and hopefully you're on there and able to double check what's going on with your son or daughter. All grades are updated online, and so you should see all that via Schoology and on Synergy as well. I don't offer extra credit except for the chance to watch a movie and do a write-up on it. I'll talk to students about it soon. And then again, all coursework is on Schoology. Late work, and this year grading-wise, there's nothing below a 50%. So if your son or daughter doesn't have a chance to complete things, it just remains at 50%. If they communicate with me that they're going to do the assignment, I just encourage that they send me an email and just give me a heads up. Hey, I haven't done this assignment, but I will. And then we grade for up to full credit when we have that kind of communication. So number 4, please encourage your students to review their notes. 1, that they're taking notes. 2, that they're reviewing their notes to prepare, not just the night before a test. We will still do assessments. We've already had 1 assessment on our government unit. We will have another. And so that is me just checking in. Like, I can't get through all the content just through a Zoom session for a half hour. It has to be something that students are doing on their own to be able to follow lecture and take notes on their lecture. But I'm doing it at their leisure instead of during our Zoom sessions and making those an hour and 20 minutes, which they don't want to do. I don't want them to do that either. So I send those out. So, and then lastly, just allow your student the responsibility to be able to speak with teachers like myself and take ownership and efforts in class. But please, I do welcome your input, your communication. your encouragement during this time. It's difficult. It's difficult for me as a parent of young kids, and I know we're all trying to get through this and extend grace to one another. But I love hearing from you, and that's why my number's here. I am coming into the classroom every day, and we'll check messages here, and then also email is great too. So, but thanks for checking out my video on U.S. history, and here's a short video about myself if you're interested about who's teaching your son or daughter. I thought it would also be important to talk maybe a little bit about myself if you were interested, or otherwise you could just cut off the video. But thanks again for joining me. Hi, I'm Mr. Messner. I'm your teacher for U.S. History, your AP U.S. History, this 2020 to 2021 school year. I'm excited to meet you. Here's a bit more about myself. Well, I hope you enjoyed that introduction to me. I'm excited to get to know you throughout this school year. So let's go ahead, Cougs. Let's get on that blue train. Let's get to our seats and get ready to learn this year.